Turning now to From the Farm, our ag reporter Stu Ellis joining us in studio.
Good morning, Stu. I hear it is an important anniversary. Whose anniversary is it?
Happy anniversary. That's right. This is the start of a 10-year anniversary year for PCM, Precision Conservation Management, a novel agricultural program designed to show farmers how conservation practices can be justified with a positive financial result. Now let's start by going all the way back to February of 2016 when PCM was first announced. And Dr. Laura Gentry of the Illinois Corn Grower staff said it began with a challenge of getting farmers to implement conservation practices that they were not currently doing.
And then we went out and we started asking farmers about that. We confirmed it is farm financials, understanding risk associated with new conservation practices, and better understanding how we can overcome some of that risk, how we can understand that risk and address it better. So that was step number one. Step number two, we go in to meet with some folks at the University of Illinois to talk about this idea with them. And I have a meeting with Jonathan Koppas. We sit down in his office, and I'm saying, Jonathan, we need to start addressing the issue of how conservation practices and farm financials come together. We need some way to bridge that gap and provide better information. And Jonathan sits here and he nods to me, and he says, just a second. And he reaches under his desk, and he pulls the Farm Business Farm Management Association recent report out, and he thumps it down on his desk, and he says, this is part of the solution. And he was right. That was a missing link for us, and it was really critical. So bringing together this FBFM information, the farmers who are interested in that level of analysis, and then finding the ones within that group with those interests that are also interested in conservation, and saying we can bring all this information together was really a breakthrough.
The announcement in February of 2016 was a big deal and drew the Undersecretary of Agriculture, Robert Bonney, who brought money.
30 partners, obviously the Illinois Corn Growers, NRCS, Illinois Soybean Association, we've got agribusiness, we've got soil and water conservation districts, a lot of partners. And those partners are bringing 2.5 times the amount of resources that NRCS is bringing to the table. So we're putting up a little over 5. The partners are bringing an additional $13 million to the table here, and that is really impressive, and it shows the level of commitment from everybody around this project.
A longtime PCM participant, Steve Hettinger, who farms at Philo, is sold on the benefits of the program.
If it wasn't easy, I wouldn't still be doing it because we like the easy button on the farm. So yeah, especially the guidance I get from my representative is amazing. The data I get is good, and just gives me more confidence. We're trained to be on yield, and I'm learning that profitability trumps yield, of course. And so they've allowed me that data, the guidance to let me try new things, and I'm finding some things with a shortage of help on the farm, people, labor. If I can reduce my tillage passes and get the same profitability, I'm going to do it. We may get better weed control. We'll have less passes. We may sometimes give up a couple bushels on beans on that, but sometimes not. So there's give and take, and we're going slowly. But what's nice about PCM, they don't force you; they just inform you, and so that's very helpful.
A lot of farmers like Steve are all under the tutelage of the PCM program, and it's been very successful. It's growing to other states, and a really interesting aspect is that there's a Kentucky distillery which only uses corn from PCM farmers. Happy anniversary, folks.